Hello, Daddy.
Oh, I'm glad you're home.
Are you? Why? Are you lonely now that Quentin and Nola are out of town?
Oh, that's not why I came.
Then why did you come?
Well, I'm worried about you. I have been ever since you and Billy broke up.
Are you really? Are you really worried about me, Daddy? Or do you just want to see me married off to anyone who'll take me off your hands?
Hi, busy, aren't you?
You know it.
I'm in room 2103. I checked out already. Annabelle Simpson, here's my key.
Okay. 2103. You didn't by any chance, here.
What was her name?
Boy, I wonder what's going on around here.
I don't know. Why don't we ask the desk clerk?
Okay. Excuse me.
Yes?
Can you tell me if a man named William Bauer has checked out of room 2101?
He sure has. The hard way.
What do you mean?
Mr. William Bauer in room 2101 jumped out of his window about a half an hour ago. He's dead.
And now, Guiding Light. This portion is presented by...
No, Mr. Bauer.
Well, my sister married his son. I know the whole family.
Oh, you do? Well, we're looking for someone to notify the next of kin.
Well, I can give you their names. I know the whole family.
Oh, you do? All right. Will you wait right here for a minute? I just want to check with my men. I'll be right back.
I can't believe that William Bauer is dead, the man in the picture we were looking for.
I know, but I doubt very much if one thing had anything to do with the other. Mr. Bauer was probably a very lonely and unhappy man.
I don't know how I'm going to tell the family.
Listen, why don't we just wait? We'll talk to the police, get the facts, and then call Maureen and see how she wants to handle it.
I don't want to stay here anymore. I want to go home.
All right, hon, all right. What we'll do is we'll talk to Maureen, and then we'll go down to Union Station and take the next available train.
You know, when I started to want to find out who the men were in the picture, I thought it was some kind of game. Listen, I'm going to go call.
Well, I'm afraid it's not a game anymore.
Vanessa, that's a terrible thing to say to me. I don't want anyone to take you off my hands.
Then why did you put a price on my head?
Oh, it's not a bounty, darling. It's a gift. It's a present the day you get married.
Yes, but why so much, Daddy? Why $500,000? Am I that much of an albatross that you have to spend $500,000 to get rid of me?
Darling, I don't know what to do with you. That's the amount I gave Quentin and Nola. If I didn't give you the same, I'd never hear the end of it. You'd say I didn't love you as much as I did him.
Oh, fine. Now you're accusing me of equating love with money, huh?
No. And we've been through this before. Please. You must know that I love you. You're the dearest thing in the world to me.
Well, I certainly am the most expensive thing in the world.
Now, please, Vanessa, stop it. Just stop it right now.
I'm sorry. I'm just very confused.
Oh. I'm sorry, child. It's my fault.
Your fault? Why your fault?
Well, I've always put too much emphasis on money. I connected with happiness, and you've never known one without the other?
Oh, yes, I did. Once.
You're talking about Billy?
Mm-hmm. I thought he loved me. I really did. But the only thing he saw when he looked at me was an end to his financial problems.
And what did you see when you looked at him?
Oh. Someone who made me laugh. You know, Daddy, no one has ever made me feel the way he made me feel, and I loved him. I really loved him.
He loved you, too?
So anyway, Daddy, why'd you do it? Why'd you have to go and tell him about my dowry? Don't you understand that I'm never going to know now whether it was me or the damn money he loved?
I'm sorry, darling. It was stupid of me. I'm deeply sorry. But at least we've learned one thing from all this.
Please tell me what it is.
We've learned that money doesn't really mean very much. Unless you have someone that you love to share things with.
Daddy, do you love me?
More than anything on earth.
I don't know what I'd do without you. I really don't. When things go wrong, you're here and you make me feel safe.
Well, I've tried to protect you. You don't know how much I have tried to protect you. Dear one, I have an idea. Why don't we go away somewhere? Just take a trip. I think it would do us both a lot of good.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. I've been thinking of doing just that, but I hope you understand when I say I want to go by myself.
Yes, I understand. But I hope you'll let me pay for the trip. I feel so guilty about all of this.
Oh, no. What were we just saying?
Oh, you mean I can't buy your forgiveness?
No, you can't. You don't need to.
Thank you, dear. But please let me pay for the trip. Please. My treat.
All right, all right. Yes, you can pay for it. And anyway, where I'm going, it's not very expensive.
Where are you going?
I want to go to New Mexico.
Oh, yeah. Your mother and I used to go to Mexico before you were born. She loved it.
Well, so do I. It's so beautiful and so peaceful.
Do you trust me to make the arrangements?
Oh, I would adore it. Thank you. And I know that when I come back, I'm going to be feeling much, much better.
Well, I hope so. I have to see you smile. It's what I live for.
Am I supposed to read these?
Oh, hell no. We wouldn't want you to go to any trouble. Josh can fill you in, can you?
In detail, yes.
I'll give you exactly 5 minutes. Then I'm calling security.
Okay. I went down to Jansen, Alan, to check out the renovations going on there. You remember Jansen Refinery? It's a company that Billy bought from you.
Finagled is a better word.
Well, whatever you want to call it, it was a legal sale.
You better speed this up, Josh. You're wasting time.
Okay. I put out a call for bids on the work that needed to be done there, and when they came in, they matched the figures in the report that Billy had submitted.
What's the problem?
You know what the problem is, Alan. 2 weeks later, when the contracts were to be awarded, every contractor submitted a revised bid, significantly higher.
Well, that's unfortunate for you. I don't see what it has to do with me.
Well, like I was telling you this afternoon, that significantly higher figure came out to the amount of $300,000. Now, does that figure ring any bells?
I'm afraid not.
Well, I remember it very well. Seemed to me to be the exact amount that you paid to buy out my contract at Spaulding Enterprise.
That argument's a little thin, isn't it, Billy?
I thought that too. But imagine my surprise when I found out that you'd gone away a week before those changed bids were submitted. And you didn't even tell your wife or your kiddies where you were going.
And that includes Amanda, who just happens to own the company that you're trying to defraud.
I was called away on business.
Yeah, dirty business.
Now, look, whatever it is you're accusing me of...
I believe it's called bid rigging. And if I recall correctly, it's illegal in these parts.
You can't prove that.
Well, that's what these affidavits are all about. If you want to flip through them real quick, you'll find one from every contractor swearing that you personally threatened to close them down if they didn't change their bids.
And we can subpoena the limo driver who picked you up at the hotel in Jensen, company pilot who flew you down.
Now, this is ludicrous. Why would I care about a paltry $300,000?
Now, that occurred to me, too. But I realized it wasn't the money. It was your pride. I took $300,000 out of your hide, and I got Jensen without you knowing about it. I figure you're getting me back.
No matter what it means to LTA or Amanda.
Amanda has less to fear from me than she does from the two of you.
Well, we'll let her make that decision after she sees these affidavits right here.
No.
Hey, relax. These are copies. We wouldn't bring the originals. In fact, hey, keep those.
Well, what's it gonna be, Al? The love of your daughter and a nice spread in that finance magazine, or $300,000 of blood money and a real messy court case?
I'll make some calls.
I knew he was gonna see it our way.
Nice doing business with you, Al. Alan, your watch is ringing.
It tolls for thee.
It won't work, will it? Your own political advisors don't want you anywhere near me. My God, I'm going to lose my son.
Amanda, you're not. Believe me, I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to take care of both you and Matthew.
Oh, God, I wish you could.
I can, and I will. I've been wanting to do something for a long time. To make up for everything that's happened between us. I love you. I've loved you for a long, long time. And when this is all over, I want the three of us to be together. Forever. I want Matthew to think of me as his father. I want Matthew to have brothers and sisters, too.
So what do you say?
I want to marry you, Amanda.
We'll continue with part 2 of Guiding Light in a moment.
That my timing is so bad. I know. I know that you're worried about Matthew and the Jennifer situation, but Amanda, believe me, this is what I want.
Ross, would my chances for getting Matthew be better if I were married?
Yes, Jennifer's single. You'd have a husband.
I appreciate so much what you're doing. I love you for it, but I can't let you do
No, I'm
that.
not proposing to you as a strategy move, for heaven's sakes. I love you.
I'm sorry. I guess I have a one-track mind. Right now, all I can think about is Matthew.
And I can certainly understand that, but I can't help but feel that something positive can come out of Jennifer's call.
What?
I think that you wanted to be Matthew's mother from the first time you ever held him.
I did. I mean, he was so tiny and helpless, and he needed me so much.
Well, now is the time to act on that wish.
Oh, God, Ross. Do you know what it would mean to me if I could call him my own son legally?
Yes, and it would be wonderful for you, too. I mean, you have been living in limbo for so damn long. It's time that you started making some commitments, Amanda.
I'm committed to Matthew.
I am not just talking about Matthew. Amanda, I know that you love me.
I do, huh?
Oh, yes. Now, you can be as coy as you want to be, but I know the truth. We've got the mutual irresistibles, and you are absolutely nuts about me.
Have you ever thought that maybe I'm just nuts? Have you seriously considered that?
Oh, yeah. But I'll take you any way you want.
I didn't think anybody could make me laugh after what's happened.
See, handy to have around. That'd be so nice to come home to. Come on, let's go upstairs. And check on that.
You're right. It is time I made a commitment.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, Trish. Well, I'm glad you're home.
Mm-hmm.
I need somebody to celebrate with. You available?
Looks like you've already been doing some celebrating.
Yeah, Josh and I, we had a few toasts.
Did you say you and Josh?
Mm-hmm. Josh and I were celebrating. We pulled off a little coup tonight. Then we were celebrating, and she had to go and see that nurse of hers, and then it was shanky evening, and...
Oh, you know, poor Billy had to resort to his little sister to celebrate with, right?
It's just a temporary setback.
Honey, I'm real sorry about you and Vanessa.
Don't worry about it. I'm not. Hey, you got any sipping whiskey?
Sure. I sure do. You know, you never know when OHB's gonna drop by. So, what's this great coup you have pulled off, my dear?
Nothing short of a minor miracle.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Do I have to play 20 questions? You're gonna tell me.
Well, that old boss of yours. He tried to pull a hoodwink on us, but old Josh and I nailed his ears back good.
You seen Alan tonight?
Seen? Massacre was more what it's like. Oh, honey, you should have been there. You'd have been proud of the Lewis boys tonight.
Did it ever happen to occur to either of you that I work for the man?
Well, when you hear what he did, you won't want to work for him
I
anymore.
don't want to hear what he did.
Putting blinders on ain't gonna change anything.
I don't want to hear what he did because I'm sure it's no worse than anything you and HB have done and left over.
He tried to steal from your own flesh and blood.
I don't believe that.
Well, it's true. I can prove it to you.
Well, I don't want you to prove it to me.
What's wrong with you, Trish? I mean, your rat boss tried to double-cross us and we aced him out.
Yeah, and you just might have aced me out of a job.
Well, if that's all that's bothering you, I got you this job. I'd get you another one.
You got me this job. You know what you got me, Billy? You got me an empty office and a phone that never rang. I made this job into what it is now. I did.
Yeah, you and those pretty legs of yours.
Don't you dare accuse me of anything like that.
I'm not accusing you. Hey, everybody knows how sweet Al is on you. You apparently buying it hook, line, and
Stop
sinker.
it! Just stop it! You are not going to take this one away from me, Billy. This is the first thing that I have ever gotten on my own. And I worked damn hard for it, and you are not going to waltz in here and take it away from me because your masculine pride has been offended.
Pride's always been important to the Lewises.
That's right. And I have my own pride to consider.
Well, I don't know what the hell kind of pride you're talking about, woman. You may be a Lewis, but, you ain't no sister of mine.
Yet I'm afraid, because of unforeseen circumstances, I'm going to have to cancel our arrangement with Jansen Refinery. Right. I do hope that all traces of the agreement can be disposed of immediately. Yeah. Right. I'm going to have to ring off now, yes. Talk to you later. Thank you. I'm not ready to leave yet, Hope. That photographic session put me way behind. I've got a lot of work to catch up on, so there's no point in your waiting for me. I may be here for hours.
I'm not waiting to take you home, Alan.
Well, if it's about the interview, I think it went very well, despite the fact that Philip showed up with a black eye. Thank you for covering for him.
You mean I did something right for a change?
Now, look, don't start that.
Oh, it's only that I haven't done anything you've approved of in such a long time. I'm surprised.
You were charming and gracious. I appreciate it.
I didn't want Philip to be embarrassed. And I did promise you I would get you through that interview and photograph session.
Thank you. And now, if that's all...
That isn't all, Alan.
What then?
I want you to know that I've had all your clothes delivered to the executive suite. You don't have to worry about coming home anymore.
Me out of my own home?
It's my home, too, although you seem to have forgotten that lately. You may visit Alan Michael anytime you please, but you will stay in the executive suite.
You can't do this to me, Hope.
Oh, I believe I already have.
You've had this little plan in mind for some time, haven't you?
Yes, I started thinking about it when you left town, without telling me where you were going.
I sent word.
After you left. Do you have any idea what that did to me? You're just skipping town like that and leaving me all alone?
With a full-time housekeeper, a full staff of servants, a chauffeur, and a gardener?
You think that's all that matters, don't you? You think that just by paying the bills, you fulfilled your obligation to this marriage, and I should be happy.
What do you want from me, Hope?
I wanted you to love me.
Well, of course I love you.
You say it in such an impatient tone. I wonder what it sounds like when you tell it to Trish Lewis.
Ah, now I understand. You're not doing this because I went out of town. You're jealous of Trish.
I'm doing it because of the way you treated me. I don't have to take it anymore, Alan. I have other things in my life now.
Like your wine?
Don't you dare talk to me about vices. Everybody told me about your little tricks, but I didn't want to believe them. I wanted to think you changed, but you didn't.
Look, I know you're upset. You've been under a great deal of strain because of this interview.
Don't you dare touch me.
Do you think I'm not going to live in my own home with my wife and son?
You've got the pictures from your interview. You don't need us.
You know, I just feel so bad for the family. I mean, you know, even though they haven't seen Mr. Bauer in a long time.
I know. How long have Mr. and Mrs. Bauer been divorced?
I don't know. I mean, it's got to be some time, though. But, you know, they must feel really terrible because I know how I'd feel if all of a sudden I heard that the dad had died. I mean, you know, even though we haven't seen him or heard from him in a long time, I still feel really bad. I like to think that he's out there somewhere, alive.
You were hoping that that picture would lead you to him, weren't you?
Well, I guess so. I mean, you know, I was also thinking of Tony and Annabelle, but they're engaged now. They're not letting the picture bother him. I don't think I should either, I guess.
Does this mean you're going to give up the investigation?
Well, I mean, Tony and Annabelle, they're engaged now, and they don't need me anymore, and I guess the picture's really not going to help me find Dad. I guess I should put an end to it once and for all.
Listen, every ending is a beginning of some sort.
I guess so.
Yes. Well, it's been a long day. A lot of things have happened, so why don't you try and get some sleep? Think you can? I'll put out the light. Nola, Good night, Nola, my love.
Be alarmed, madame. I did not come to accost you.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
I am Hercule Poirot at your service.
Mr. Perrault? Well, I was just reading about you here in this book. Are you the famous French detective?
That is Poirot, and I am Belgian, madame, Belgian.
Oh. So, why'd you come to my compartment?
I have deduced from the little gray cells in my brain that something is troubling you, Nola. And so I have come to offer my assistance.
Mr. Perrault, how did you know my name was Nola?
I memorized the name and the compartment number of every passenger on the train on which I am traveling. It is a small mental exercise.
Oh. Well, your little gray cells are right. I do have a problem.
Oh, perhaps I can be of assistance.
Well, you see, I was doing this investigation on my own.
Ah, you are a detective too, no?
No. And, we'll see, I'm trying to find out the identities of some men in a picture that my father took 20 years ago, before he left town. Oh, there's a girl in the picture, too.
Say, and how did you proceed in your investigation?
Well, there are 4 men in the picture. I know 2 of them. One's alive. So, I went to see the alive one in Chicago to talk to him.
Oh, good, good. Excellent, excellent. What did he say to you? It is important that you remember everything. You were attentive. No.
No. Because when I got there to the hotel, I found out that he jumped out the window and killed himself. Would you like a chocolate? So I was so distressed by this news that I decided not to continue my investigation. So I guess I'll never find out who those men are in that picture.
You do seem to have reached an impasse.
Mr. Perot, what do you think I should do?
I do not think this man's death is an ending. No, but rather a beginning.
What do you mean?
You have read my many cases. How do they invariably begin?
A murder.
Oui.
So what is it exactly that you're saying?
Perhaps one of the participants in that photograph did not wish to be discovered.
Oh. You really think that's what it is?
Bonsoir, Nora.
Oh, Mr. Perot! Oh, Mr. Perot, come back! Oh. Mr. Perot! Mr. Perot!
You don't think I came here straight from the airport for nothing?
You know, I wish you'd called and let me know when your plane was coming in. I would have met you.
Well, it doesn't matter, because I wasn't on the plane I was supposed to be on anyway.
Don't tell me your cab got caught in traffic. Don't you hate that?
No, well, that's not what happened. I just, missed it.
How could you just miss it when you knew it was bringing you home to me?
Well, you know what, Tony, I had a blackout, I think.
You think?
Well, it didn't last very long, but just long enough for me to miss the plane.
You had it at the airport?
No, at the hotel. It was really strange. I remember going up to my hotel room in the elevator right after you called, or I called you, and then the next thing I knew, I was just waking up on the bed, and it was like 20 minutes later.
What? Are you okay now? Do you feel all right?
I'm fine. I'm just fine. I don't have any idea what could have brought it on.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's stress or something. You know, with getting engaged and your dad moving to town.
I wouldn't call that stress.
Why not? There's good and bad stress.
Okay, Doc.
No, I mean it. And your seminar and all the traveling you've been doing, you know.
And that guy following me around didn't help.
Exactly, the guy following you around, yeah. Did you ever find out who that was?
No, But you know, he showed up everywhere. He was at the seminar, he was at the hotel. You know, I wonder if he had anything to do with that commotion that was going on at the hotel.
I really couldn't say, but I'll tell you one thing. If he wasn't on the plane with you, you've seen the last of him. And I'm not going to let anybody around here follow you.
I'm so happy to be home and with you.
This feels right, doesn't it? You and me together.
Sure feels right to me. I don't want to go anywhere without you again.
Does that mean I have to start going to language seminars?
Hey, you're gonna love them.
Yeah, about as much as watching paint dry. Sit down. Tell me about your trip. Come on, I want to hear. Did your English paper go over pretty good? Did you keep them awake?
Yeah, that was pretty good. It wasn't bad.
If you say that, I know it must have been great.
I'll tell you, the response was enthusiastic. I have to
I
admit.
knew it would.
I think I'm gonna take it on the road.
Oh, boy, that means I got to polish my walking shoes, right?
Would you really go with me?
Sure. Someone's got to protect you from all those linguistic groupies, don't they?
I'll tell you something. It's the wild parties that you got to worry about because
Oh, yeah?
things get really hot when we start to discuss death and Huckleberry Finn.
Did he die?
No.
You know something? If anybody ever told me that I would end up marrying an English professor, I'd have told them they were crazy.
Yeah, some men are really put off by it,
Hey,
too.
not me. I love loving the smartest girl in town.
Well, I think you're pretty smart.
Me?
Mm-hmm. Because you know who you are. And you're at peace with yourself. And I think that's the smartest thing there is.
Really?
That's what first attracted me to you.
That means a lot coming from you. Makes me feel proud.
You should feel proud. Peace of mind is about the hardest thing there is to get.
You know where I got mine?
Mm-mm.
From you. It's true. When you came into my life, everything just sort of fell into place. Thank you.
It better not be you, Billy Lewis. Oh, Alan.
Hello, Trish. May I come in?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. I hope I'm not dropping by too late. I saw the light.
No, I was trying to get some work done.
Oh, well, I don't mean to interrupt you. I can leave.
No, it's all right. I was kind of having a hard time concentrating anyway. I think I know why you're here.
You do?
Billy was here earlier crowing about some coup he had scored with you.
Yes, I would like to talk to you.
Well, there's not much to say, is there?
But I want to explain.
Well, it's all right, Alan. You don't have to explain. I would understand perfectly if you'd want to fire me.
Fire you?
Oh, you've got to be angry about this.
Yes, but not with you. You didn't have anything to do with this.
Alan, that's true. I didn't have any idea. I had no idea what Billy and Josh were planning.
Well, no, I'm sure you didn't. You have absolutely nothing to worry about. I'm sure that Billy exaggerated it a bit anyway.
Yes, I kind of had a feeling that he was blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah, well, he probably felt the need to boost his own ego a little.
Oh, Alan, I'm so glad that you're not angry with me.
I could never be angry with you about anything. Although I must confess something.
What's that?
Well, I'm glad to see that you would be unhappy at the prospect of losing your job. Apparently, it means you enjoy working with me.
Alan, you don't have any idea what this job means to me. Particularly right now, when the rest of my life doesn't seem to be so terrific.
You and Mike having problems?
Mike and I broke up right after you left town.
Trish, I'm sorry that you fought with Mike and your brothers because of me.
No, it's all right. They just don't understand you, Alan.
Well, that's one reason why I came to you tonight. You're about the only one who understands me.
What's wrong?
It's Hope. She asked me to move out of the house.
Oh. You're home.
You're drunk.
I can hold my liquor.
Obviously. You can hold a great deal of it. Well, what do you have to say to me?
I want you to know that you damn near broke my heart with what you did. Going after my money when I thought you cared.
Oh, you don't have any money, which is why you went after mine when I thought you cared.
You got it all figured out, don't you? Well, what am I doing here then?
I haven't the vaguest.
I'll tell you. I made a monkey out of Helen Spaulding tonight, and I can't even enjoy myself because I keep thinking about you.
Oh. Well, isn't that nice? Now you blame me for your not being able to have a good time.
Woman, don't you understand what I'm telling you?
No, I don't. And I think you'd better spell it out.
I don't know why I came here in the first place. I should never come. I don't even know why I bothered coming here.
Billy! Are you trying to say that you miss me just a little?
Well, much as you miss me.
I've missed you. A little. But I cannot forget what you did.
What I did? You didn't even tell me you were broke.
Well, I didn't tell anybody except for Trish.
Oh, Trish who?
Your sister, dummy.
Oh, yeah, well, wait a minute. You mean Trish knew you were broke and she didn't tell me?
Well, yeah, but she's a very loyal friend.
Well, Lord, but yeah, she isn't too loyal a sister, I'll tell you. I wouldn't even think about her being a loyal friend either. I mean, she knew I had some money troubles just like you.
What? Yeah. What? She knew and she didn't tell me?
Hmm?
Oh, that lousy little so-and-so. I bet she had a good time thinking how amusing it was watching us.
I'd say she was cruel.
Well, come on, let's go. Billy, stop!
You can't go running over there in your nightie.
I am going to. Put me down.
Oh, you are the damnedest woman I've ever met. It wasn't enough, was it?
It's not enough.
Well, I can't forgive you for what you did, then.
Well, I can't forgive you for what you did.
Well, maybe I ought to just leave.
I think you ought to just leave.
Damn you, woman!
Would you like to talk about it?
No, not really. I just didn't want to be alone tonight.
Would you like some coffee? Maybe brandy?
Brandy would be good, thank you.
Okay. Just make yourself at home. I'll get you a drink.
Well, seeing as how I have no home of my own to go to, that's a very attractive offer. You know, it's funny. I've never been here before, but I feel more comfortable here than I do in my own house.
Here you are. Ellen, what are you doing?
Something I've wanted to do for a long time.
How you doing, lady?
I'm doing wonderfully.
Good.
And I think everything is going to be fine from now on.
Quentin. Quentin, wake up. Wake up.
No.
Wake up.
No, what's wrong?
Listen, we can't stop looking for those men in the picture.
I thought you were the one that wanted to give up the
I
investigation.
can't now. I
Why
just
not?
can't. Because one of those men in the picture murdered Mr. Bauer.
This has been Guiding Light. Fashions provided by Lily Rubin Salon, South Southwest, and Barney's. Furs by the Christie Brothers.